is the grades that he has spoken about, yes. So AA is the largest and AB is the second largest. Yeah, so what next is done? I have to make sure I weigh the coffee grams according to the size of the cup. Since most of our times we find that our cups are not the same, we have a formula that we use to make sure that how many grams of coffee you are going to use on those cups. So for me at the moment, I'm using 10 grams because I use the formula that I'm supposed to use. So this coffee is already weighed 10 grams. I'm using a 5-cup sample, which is the standard, whereby according to certified coffee, when you're dealing with cupping protocols, you're supposed to do 5-cup sample. And why am I doing 5-cup sample? This is to ensure that you get every details or quality of that farmer's coffee. Because if I would plan to do a 1-cup sample, and maybe there is a coffee bean that is defective, that bean will be in another cup. It will be left in the tray. So I won't be able to give the correct analysis of the farmer's coffee. Hence, I have to make a 5-sample coffee, knowing that at least I won't miss the defect on that coffee sample. That's why I'm doing a 5-cup sample. This was just to show you that the roasted coffee, how it is placed on the table. Now, I already have ground coffee. This is the AA. Now, we are coming now to the cupping protocols, or we say the quality process. And we begin by grinding our coffee. You see it is beans. And we have beans. These are not edible yet. So we have to grind it. And I use a grinder, which is at the back. This is our manual grinder. So we use a sample. And then you grind. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, then we have our coffee. Yeah, it becomes this ground. The ground should be rock salt. It should be salt. The granules should be like salt. Yeah, they shouldn't be fine. They should be medium. Yes. So we don't have to do anything.
Where is the one I saw people testing?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Asante sana. Asante. Okay. This is already ground samples. They are 10 grams. I had to keep them on a sealed container to make sure I don't lose the fragrance of this coffee. Because the dry fragrance is a part and parcel of quality analysis. You have to ensure that you know the, yeah. Yes, so you can smell the coffee.
There's a English saying about smelling the coffee.
Smell the coffee. Yes, smell the coffee. Smell the coffee.
So you have to make sure that your nose is very sharp, and that's why you find that in a lab, a person is supposed to be in the lab. You're not supposed to use strong perfumes or strong soaps. So you're supposed to make sure that you don't use strong perfumes so that you don't affect. Yeah. You may say that the coffee is smelling jasmine flowers, and yet it is your spray on your body.
Oh, okay. Now let's lick.
Yeah. So this is my boiled water. So after you smell the coffee, you have to write what you felt in that coffee. In our Embu coffee, most of the times the coffee is caramel and chocolate, and you find that the essence of a few that have flowery. We say that they are flowery and they are fruity flavor. You smell the fruity flavor. Why do we get those? Caramel. The caramel, yeah, you smell it. And where do we get it from? We get it from the roaster. When the sugars are breaking down, when you're roasting the coffee, those sugars, they form the caramel and the chocolate notes. So when you're brewing, you're supposed to make sure that you have a timer, because you're supposed to brew for 4 minutes. But because of time, Yeah. So this is my water that has been boiled, and it should be at least 90 degrees. Make sure you don't make a mess. I'm making a mess because I have my wakubwa here, so that's why.
We have invaded your space.
You have not invaded my. It's my first time to meet you both, and it will be my pleasure if I will be able to meet you once more, and many other times. Yes. Yeah. So this coffee has to be brewed for 4 minutes, and you don't have to interfere with it. You have to leave it to brew for 4 minutes.
By itself.
Yeah, by itself. Yeah, because you are letting the coffee granules to dissolve. You are putting water, so you are letting it to dissolve. From then, you'll be able to identify how that cup is. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're called who?
Alice Modoni. Yes, and I want to see you, Madam Governor. I have something for you. Okay. Yeah, atujamaliza. This was just sijaonyesha venye cupping iko. I was told that you love cupping. So next time please come and we do the cupping. Here there was a sample of the coffee that has been brewed. So it will be my pleasure if you'll be able to taste that coffee. Yeah. You know, Embu coffee is the best coffee. Actually, it is mostly used for blend. Yeah, it's used for blend. Yeah.